Hello everyone, Mel here from Dobler College Consulting, and today I want to talk about jobs. So I feel like there's a lot of students I talk to when they're thinking about like resume building and like stuff outside of class that they should be doing, to be appealing to colleges. And I understand that there's this sort of like cynical, stressed out like vibe where students want to do the things that they feel like they're supposed to do to get into college. Now, basically every college is going to tell you not to think that way. But one thing I really want to talk about today is like jobs. And I mean jobs. A lot of students talk about volunteer work or getting, fancy internships that are selective, shadowing, professionals in their, like aspiring fields. That stuff is all great and good, and you should do those things, especially the things you're interested in and fit what you as a student want to explore. But a lot of my students just work like at regular old places, like, maybe they work in a restaurant or in retail, or they babysit, or maybe they help out on a local farm, or like whatever, like a regular old job. And some students come to me, around summer before senior year, and they're like, all I've been doing is working. And students work for a lot of different reasons. I mean, some students have to work to help, support their family. Some students work because their parents tell them like, hey, if you want this certain car, you need to pay your own car payment. Some students just really like working because it makes them feel like independent and confident. So students work for a lot of different reasons. And I'm here to tell you, you can work. Like, that's great. Even if you're a student who has to work and you work a lot and it keeps you from doing other stuff, like doing, a ton of volunteer work or, playing sports at your school, that's okay. Colleges want to see that students are busy and engaged in their community and like just doing stuff outside of their home, if they can. So when I have students that work, like 15 hours a week at the Panera Bread, that's fine. Colleges will ask you if you do stuff like that on your application, and they're not going to like be mean judges about it because they understand that students work for all sorts of reasons. Here's my ask. So for students who do work, especially who do work in maybe like retail or food service jobs, or like they work at a grocery store, something that maybe isn't directly related to what their major is going to be or what they want to do professionally in the future, my ask of those students is to be mindful about their work and think about how it impacts them as a person, and as someone who is like learning and growing in the world around them. So there are like professional things students can learn from these jobs. Like sometimes they learn how to use like points of service machines, right? If they're a cashier. Some students have to like clean a lot at their job. A lot of students have to learn people skills because maybe they work in like retail and have to talk to crazy customers all day. These are all really good life skills and things that students can talk about in their college essays and on their resumes. And they can gain a lot of responsibility and independence through these jobs. So I'm here to say it is okay if you just work a regular job, and you should talk about it in your activity section and put it on your resume. And you can even write essays about them. They're totally great. You can do other stuff too, like those, job shadows and doing research positions and volunteer work. That's all great. But if all you have time to do is work, that's okay too. All right. If you have questions about any of this, feel free to let us know. We're always happy to help. And try not to be stressed out about just having a job. It's fine.